Rated M for mature.
Hey, that's my move. I invented that.
You invented killing somebody with a signpost and a tire?
I think so. Wait, maybe it was a jet ski in a traffic cone. This guy obviously does not know jet.
Why do you say that?
Let's see who the craziest.
Alright, so now you've seen the first part of Ken and Warren's interview. I hope you're enjoying it. Nishikawa-san, so Ken and Warren were working on the script. You had a meeting with them. How was that meeting? Ken と Warren 会った時どうでしたか？
いやー、本当はね、もっとすごい、おかしな、クレイジーな人だと思ったけど、会ったらすごい紳士な人で、特にケンはすごい紳士で、オーレンはちょっと控えめな性格で、本当にこの人たちでこんな面白いの書けるのかなっていうのが、すごい正直な気持ちだった。でも実際書いてもらってる内容は超クレイジーで、すっごい面白かったので、なんかすごいプロフェッショナルな人たちだなと思ったね。
And Hunky Punk, they actually wrote some of the Hunky Punk lines. How did you feel about their Hunky Punk lines?
I'll get you for that, motherfucker!
The different characters in the game, you guys already talked about the announcers. Were there any other characters? Like, what were your characters that you most liked to write for, that were maybe the easiest to write for? And were there any that were, like, really hard? I guess you already said there were some situations that were just like, well, what the hell do we write for this? But
actually, let me take this one before we pass it off to Ken and Warren. But the actual script for the game was written by Yasumi Matsuno. So, the director of Final Fantasy XII before he left the project, and Final Fantasy Tactics and Ogre Battle. The only guy to have 2 40s come out of Famitsu. And he's just an amazing game writer. And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by how complex the actual story was. And when you use him, obviously he's writing the script in Japanese. Oh, wow, you guys are in a really small room. So when you use him, he's writing the script in Japanese. And we had one of his frequent translators, so Alex Smith, did the translation for the game. And once that was done, we handed it off to Ken and Warren. And Ken and Warren did their pass on the script and made it funny for us.
Yeah, we just added a little bit. I mean, we really didn't change a whole lot because, like, we weren't sure what to expect, for the story. And we thought, well, okay, we'll wait to see the script is because, yeah, I mean, we've all gotten that thing in the mail, like all our bases belong to us, that kind of stuff. So I was like, well, let's just see what a script looks like that comes out of Japan, and it was really strong.
It was.
And we didn't change much, but a little dialogue here to make it, just kind of sound a little bit more American or more Western.
And more like the characters as, of Jack, as we were perceiving him.
Yeah, the way we had, but seriously, the changes were really minor.
Although, that being said, I really liked writing that. It was fun to write something that wasn't just a one-liner, that kind of worked in a bigger context of a story structure as dialogue. That was a very enjoyable part of the project. It was kind of a nice break. And then we got another kind of a break from it when occasionally we would get this last-minute call to write some of the lines of the bosses and the other enemies were saying.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I mean that was almost like a dream that happened so quickly. We get a phone call saying we need this stuff by tomorrow morning. And it's like, okay, and we blasted off as many lines as we could for the other characters, which is hopefully if we ever do this again, we'll be able to write more. Well, what's a good way to put it? Right, basically, start more from the bottom up. And help develop more of the characters to, if people are interested in our vision for a game.
But it was a nice break in the action, though, to get that kind of thing, because, for like a month and a half, we were like in this just basic routine of, like for me, I don't think I did anything other than writing on this game. It was like work all day and work all night, and then sleep, and then get up and start over again. And like we're talking Saturdays and Sundays too. It was crazy because they say, well, this is the day we need it because they're going to actually be in the studio on this day doing it. So the scripts have to be there, whether, they've got to be done. And there were some things we left out. Like there was, they wanted lots of stuff, and we at a certain point we had to make decisions on what we thought was more important if they're going to record it and then maybe make up the rest of that stuff later, because they had sort of make up VO sessions and stuff. But
Yeah, I would have loved to have had even more time to write the stuff. I mean, that's writers will always tell you that.
Money is truly the root of all ass kickery.
Any favorite lines? Any memorable lines that you guys remember off the tops of your heads that you want people to watch out for?
Wow.
I could barely we couldn't remember when we wrote them.
That's true. Well, there's I can't remember specifically, but there are a couple of times where they'll talk about some movie. Like there was one with the Batgirl and some porno movie that she reminded them of, and we came up with all these alternate versions of the movies. That was a laugh to me, and I don't know which ones you guys ended up using, but that's not very specific. Let me.
Didn't know there'd be a test.
Yeah, I almost was going to have some of the stuff printed out so I could answer this question.
No, even vague is probably even better, because you can get an idea. People can get an idea of the comedy without having the actual joke, spoiled for them. So, I mean, you can just get kind of an idea for the kind of comedy that's in the game.
There was one that Warren came up with early on that I thought set a nice tone, and I tried to emulate as much as I could. When one of the guys gets a flaming barrel jammed over him, there's some reference to with the price of gasoline skyrocketing, this sort of move.
Oh yeah, they're going to start moving to hydroelectric barrels or something like
Yeah,
that, or more green barrels instead of these gas-burning barrels.
Yeah, some of the kind of we were actually given a brief after our first meeting that not everything should be like sex and toilet humor. But there should be more timely jokes too. I think there were like 3 or 4, maybe 5 different categories of joke. There was the low-hanging fruit, potty humor. There were these sort of college jokes. Oh, wait a second. Warren wanted me to move that foot closer. Oh, wait, here we go.
I was just slipping on my leg, and I didn't want it to all of a sudden just go, wah!
That's not the computer on your leg there, Warren.
It's not my leg.
Oh, dear.
At that meeting, I remember that, because then they said something like they want the potty humor, but then they said something smarter, and what they said was, they used the term college humor, which I thought to myself, well, here in America that means toilet humor, but I knew what he meant. They meant like more intellectual humor, jokes that you had to think about. But I just thought it was funny that they used the term college humor. But if you go to like collegehumor.com, that's like the lowest of the low-hanging fruit.
Isn't that signpost tire combo ironic?
How is it ironic?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say ironic? I meant fucking awesome.
Common mistake.
What do you think was the toughest part about writing on this project?
Staying fresh on the later levels. Like I said, a lot of the moves are kind of similar. They're different objects, but being used the same way in a different context. But ultimately, you're talking about the same sort of thing happening. A barrel being put over somebody's head, or a candle being jammed in an eye, or whatever it is that's happening. And it's like, well, how many different things can I write about the word fire? We would write, I know this is the way I would work, is I would have several documents open. I would have a thesaurus open, and and a rhyming dictionary, and
I had a slang dictionary.
And a slang dictionary, yeah. And you'd look at what was going on. Okay, it's something with a bell. Okay, what is every cliche about a bell? Who the bell tolls for thee? Ringing the dinner bell. Whatever. Bats on the belfry. And you start thinking about those things. What rhymes with bell? Okay, what can I get that's maybe a joke that works, but it's a rhyme, and that's not going to translate. What other words are there for bells? Let's see, gongs, chimes. And we would go through all these lists trying to think of funny things we could write about that. And that's just basically the wordplay aspect of it. That's almost the sort of mechanical low-hanging fruit that you get out of the way, so you have some lines in your back pocket.
Those were like the one-liners that they would say, so it could be like real quick. Like if you hit him with the bell, he'd be like, "Oh, that guy's got bats in his belfry," and then you're out. It'd be like for the quick ones, and then we still had to think of the more elaborate kind of back and forth jokes, which are a whole other beast.
And the back and forth jokes are really my favorite because when you're doing that, when you're really in the groove, you might come up with you just start writing. You don't even know what the other guy's going to say. You just write something, and the other guy, who is you, I mean, he's you, right. Just because he's in your head, will say something that will make you laugh out loud. Yeah. And for this instant, you'll think to yourself, that was really funny. I wish I'd thought of it. But you do think of it. It's you, obviously. And that's when it's really fun and when it's really magic.
Yeah, I would do that a lot, too. When you go back and forth, you'd be like, one guy, then the next, one guy, then the next, one guy, then the next. And sometimes you'd have to back up. You go, okay, wait, I went too far, and now the joke's just stupid. You're like, but here's a good cut-off point. And you'd be like, oh, okay, that worked out. And all it was just one guy says something, how would you react? Okay, this is what I would say. Oh, then how would he react to that? Okay, this is what he would say. And that's kind of, it was basically all either my head or his head.
And sometimes it would be both of us. I am Warren, the first half of a line, and go, it needs a finish. This is a funny start. Where does it go? And Warren would write back something that I wouldn't have thought of in a million years. And often...
Sometimes, though, you would even send me just like a one-liner, or I would send you a one-liner, and we would just react to that one line with our own reaction. So we would send it not looking for it to be a back and forth, but what the response that came back was so good, it became a back and forth.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, guys. Mark, thank you for Skyping in. Actually, chatting in from Tokyo.
Yeah, no, thanks. Nice to meet you guys. It was fun.
Nice to meet you.
It was good fun. One last thing I want to ask you guys. Is there any way I can get a couple autographs for the fans that we could send out? Is there any way to make that happen?
Sure.
Sure. What is it that we should be autographing?
I don't know. I'll send you an email and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, if you guys want to send us like a packet of posters, if you got, I don't know, whatever kind of promo materials,
we'll sign them
and then send them back.
All right, thanks Ken and Warren for hanging out and talking with Mark and I over iChat. Hopefully we'll be able to do that more in the future and make it even cooler. Now I want to actually get to some of your questions. You've submitted lots of them through NeoGAF, through lots of different websites, and through our own forums, which I really hope that lots of you join up on and send us more questions in the future. The first one that everyone wants to know is about the difficulty and playtime for Mad World. And I think now that some of you have it in your hands, you already know, but for the people who are still on the fence and want to know more about the game before they buy it, let's ask Nishikawa-san about that. Nishikawa-san, マートのプレイ時間と難易度に関してちょっと教えてください。
まず難易度は、Wii というハードと操作性があるので少し、優しい、けどそれは最初だけで、敵がどんどんステージを進むことによってすごく強くなってきていろんな敵も出てくるのでどんどん難しくって最後は多分すごい何回も死ぬと思う。だから、最初からなんかコアゲーマー向けのすごい難しいゲームっていうんじゃなくてだんだんエスカレーター式に難しくなっていく難易度に設定してます。もう一個そのプレイ時間っていうのは、すごいストレートに進んでいったら多分10時間もないかなと。けど、マッドワールドはその一本道のゲームじゃないので、一つのエリアってクリアしていっても新しいミッションが追加されて、新しい面白さが出てくるのでまた違ったルールで前クリアしたエリアを何回も遊べるから、それをしだすともう何十時間何百時間ですごく遊べるものになると思う。
それ一種名でも、やっぱりブラッドパスチャレンジとかボス戦改良してもすぐ、やらないとあかんというルールはないので、自分がもっと楽しくキルしたかったらそういうプレイもできますね。
そうだからマッドワールドはその30分っていう一つの試合の制限時間の中でいかにポイントを稼いでいくかっていう面白さがあるので、何かフラグが立って新しいミッションが追加されたからそれクリアするだけのゲームじゃなくて、それをするかしないかは全てユーザーの判断。もっともっとそれをやらずにもっと楽しいことをしたいとかだったらそれでもいいし、いやいや BBC ブラッドバスチャレンジをもっと遊びたいって思えばすぐにそこに行って遊べばいいし、ボス戦まで、そのボスを倒したクリアっていうまでの中に どれだけのその遊ぶ要素があるかっていうのは時間以内に縛りはないので、もう好きなだけ自分のしたいことやってほしい。それができるのがマッドワールド。
で、ハードモードは
ハードモードはまあ、ノーマルモードはもともとコンティニューがデフォルトでついてるけど、ハードモードは一切ないです。プラス敵のその強さっていうのは最初のエリア、ステージのエリアからめちゃくちゃ強いので、標識刺すのでもすごく大変な、難易度にしてます。だからアメリカの、ね、超コアゲーマーの人でもそう簡単にはクリアできないんじゃないかなっていう難易度にしてます。
Cool. Thank you. The other question that I want to ask is another one that a lot of people have sent us in, and it's about 480i versus 480p in Mad World. And Mad World is a 480i only game, and I know I want to know, and lots of other people want to know, why it's only 480i. で、もういろんなユーザーが聞きたいんですけど、なんで 480i しか対応してないんですか？
マッドワールドはもともとみんなご存知の通り白黒赤ってしか使ってないけど、そこをどんなユーザー環境でもすごく綺麗に見せるように僕たちがすごく工夫しているので、480i とか P とかそんな関係なく、もうとにかく綺麗な映像っていうのが誰でも見れるように作ったから、まずそのマッドワールドを実際にプレイしてその綺麗さをみんなでその目で確かめてほしい。したら分かると思う、その理由が。
We also had a question that came in for Ken and Warren, and they answered it when we did our iChat, so let's flip over to that real quick.
My cousin, Martin Kaplan, works at Sega.
Great man.
Yeah, he was the producer for the Happy Tree Friends game. And that was a very funny thing because the first time that we met at the Happy Tree Friends game, we didn't know that we were cousins. We're sitting in the room talking about this stuff, and then off he goes and off I go.
They look identical, by the way. Identical.
Yeah. You know, because we're cousins, identical cousins. Anyway, and then he was having dinner with another cousin of ours, because it turns out that I'm actually cousins with everybody in the world. And he's having dinner with another cousin of mine, and it kind of comes up in conversation what he's doing, and he met this guy who works on Happy Tree Friends, and then the cousin that I knew said, "Oh, I know a guy that works on Happy Tree Friends. He's my cousin." And it didn't take long, and so that was kind of really fun. So anyway, my cousin Marty heard that they needed writers for this Mad World game, and said, "Well, you should talk to my cousin Ken." And had a meeting with the guys, Patrick and Christopher, and it went pretty well. And then they said, "Yeah, we're talking about getting another writer in here." And I thought, "Oh my God, I have to get Warren in here, or they might hire somebody that sucks." You know, I had no idea who they were going to get.
They would have hired somebody that
Well,
sucks.
they might well have. They probably would have, yeah. And so, really, as a matter of self-preservation, because I can't stand working with Warren.
Because I still would have been sitting here in bed with him while he was working. I'm like, "What you doing?"
It's horrible. And he'd look at the hair on my shoulder and say, "Who's that from? Is that another writer?"
Is that another writer you're working with?
I'll scratch his eyes out.
But then Ken IM'd me, and it was basically the IM went, "Hey," and I'm all, "Hey," and he said, "You want to write on a video game that's really violent?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And he said, "Okay, I'll have the producer contact you." And like 3 seconds later, I get a phone call from Chris, and I signed an NDA, and I was involved.
Now, as far as the second half of the question, how it is different than writing for Happy Tree Friends, is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Tree Friends has no dialogue, so all we get to do is describe the scenarios and think of these intricate ways to kill the characters. We didn't really do much of that in this, although it would have been nice because we probably could have added a few extra weird ways to kill characters. We were kind of on the flip side. In this case, we were just reacting to the characters being killed by using language.
Yeah, these are actually complete opposites. They're both, gross out and that kind of thing, but, one is we just write action that's violent, and the other one is we just write dialogue that's crude. So one was, it's really, we can't do them together for whatever reason. We can only either do one or the other. Like, can't do two things at once.
It's like going to a strip bar in California. You can either have an entirely naked woman and no alcohol, or a woman with pasties and alcohol. But apparently, an entirely naked woman and alcohol is too much fun.
Yeah,
Something's gonna go wrong.
trouble.
Trouble.
That wraps it up for PGTV episode 3. Another one in the bag. Thank you very much, Nishikawa-san. Thank you very much, Mr. Hunky Punk.
Stay down, bitch! I'll get you for that motherfucker!
Nishikawa-san. Do you have a last comment? 最後のコメントとかあります？
みんなレンタルせずに買ってね。
Alright, that's it. Don't rent the game, buy it. Please. Thanks a lot, guys, and see you for episode 4 coming soon.
Will it be your last breath? Will it be your last move? Will it be your last step? Step, don't step too close, or else it's gonna make a mess when your chest explodes. Yeah, throw the full move, make you go crazy.